everybody. Welcome to Let's Learn Excel. I'm your Excel instructor. Guys, today we are going to cover count function series. And this is amazing. It has four functions. There are four different count functions available in Excel, and you might know their subtle difference. And today in this session, we are going to cover them in detail. And let's start with the most basic function, which is count. Actually, what is count? If you are counting something, and understand this count will return numeric value. So let's start with the most basic function, count. Let me, type some numbers or some, text there. QW 1, 2, and 4, 5, and TY. So try to understand why actually we need this function, to use here. If we have to count, how many, cells, have numbers. So this function comes to rescue guys here. This is actually the area where we have, the data. So let me just highlight this data and use count function. Count. Count function actually uh, count only numbers. Understand, this count function counts only numbers, and the text will be removed, will be ignored in this function. Now you see the output. You see in this green highlighted data, we have only two numbers, 45 and 12. So this result will be 2. So you see that because the rest text it has ignored. So this actually the session we have designed for you to have the understanding about count, and extensively we are going to use this count function, and after this you will be able to use this function to your requirement. So this is clear. Count function actually returns numeric value. Let me write this. Count function returns numeric value. Try to understand this. What is count A? Count A is self-explanatory, and count actually only numbers. So this entire series or this entire function, they will return numeric value. All right. And if I talk about count A, now it is clear. Count actually gives the count of only numbers. So if I increase my number to 1, so the result is 3 now, because this is the formula, and this is the entire range we have selected. We are just putting some values, and you see that value is getting changed now, and so on. If you remove some value of course will decrease, 6. If you remove this, it will become 5. If you remove this, it will become 4, and so on. So this is actually clear. Now count A, guys, this is count. If you add count A, so how many cells are filled here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The result will be 7. So now it's clear. Count and count A, they are two very basics. Count blank, this entire range we have selected. This entire range we have selected. If we use count blank, you see 59 cells are there across this area where no value is found. So those values or those blank cells are 59. So you can they are actually, see, these functions, they are self-explanatory, but now this is the function which is actually very much useful. And this function is a combination of count and if, and it counts the number of cells in a range that match one supplied condition. Criteria can include logical operator also. Criteria can include the logical operator, wildcard characters. Actually, these are all things which we are going to cover now in COUNTIF. Let me go to count functions, and in this, try to understand two things. If we talk about numbers, okay, in the formula we pass the complete number, but if we put any text, so in general text values need to be enclosed in double quotes. Try to understand this part, which is very much crucial in count series. Text values need to be enclosed in double quotes. However, when a logical operator is included with a number, the number and operator both has to be enclosed. So I tell you one example. Suppose this is the data. This is one data set. This is my second data set. We have to find out first how many Johns are there. This is one condition. So when we talk about condition, then count if, which is combination of count and if, comes to rescue. So other than these functions, count, count A, count blank, these are actually basics and they are self-explanatory. Count A means count all, count means only numbers, and count blank, of course, only blank, and count if and count ifs, these are the functions. So this is actually very interesting. This is one data set, this is second data set. So purposely I have made this data set specifically for this session, where we have the date also, where we have the amount also, where we have the text also, and where we have some kind of data where you can apply and find out data to your requirement. Over here in this data set, let me format this by pressing Alt HBA. Guys, understand, Alt HBA is the shortcut key to apply the border. Alt HBA. And now we have to find out how many India's there to count, like India count. India count. What is the count of India? So how we can do that? So we have to use equal to count. So now you see that we have count, count a, count blank, count if, count ifs. So these are the functions. If I have to use like condition, so we have to use count if we have multiple conditions, we have to use count ifs. So over here condition is just one, India count, so I will use here count if for you. Range and criteria, this is called argument, and this screen whatever you can see is called screen tip. The syntax, range comma criteria. What is the range? Actually this is my entire range. All right, and you can press F4 to lock this. Why we are locking this, though we are not dragging this formula, you have to understand, we actually let's get used to lock the table whether you drag it or not, because this is a constant table unless you have the dynamic table. So you do comma, apply the criteria here. What is the criteria? We want India count, so you can just pass our India. So you see the result, we have 7. So we have 7 India over there. Let me highlight that, this entire column. I will actually cover this condition formatting also in my next series, but this is actually we are new rule. Or maybe let me just check, use a formula to determine cells equal to this, press F4. So now you can see this equal to India. If we have this India, it will be highlighted. Fill. Let me color this, this, and this. You can see, and this is actually called conditional formatting. That will be covered extensively in next sessions. So slightly, I'm just giving an idea so that you will, get little ready for the next session, which will be covered only for conditional formatting later. So now you see that we have found out, this 7, country, 7 count of India. 1, 2, and 3. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 are there. Now the condition we are going to change. Now we have to find out the total count of UK. So we are putting total count of UK. If you just press enter, total count of UK over there is 5. So 5 is the count of UK. You can again select that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is the count of UK. And accordingly, if you have multiple criteria, like we have to find out. Let me give you another criteria. It can help you understand better this countif function. But remember, countif function works only for one criteria. If you have more than one criteria, you have to use countifs function. Let's get started now. Mm, So, before that, can we find out how many times the Q1 is repeated, or maybe you can say the occurrence, like count of uh, occurrence of maybe how many times that quarter one. How we can do that? Again, you do countif, and after you have written this countif, you have to pass the range. Now the range is changed. Now this is my range. Press F4, comma, and now either you type it or you can select anything. Suppose I want to select Q1. So you see this is the result. So Q1 is repeated three times, or you can write by yourself QTR1. You see the result is 3. So Q1 is repeated three times. Let's see. 1, 2, and 3. You can see three times. Okay. If we put 4, so now see that 4. First we count 1, 2, 3, 4. So the result will be 4. All right. So this is how our countif function works. Let me start now. One more criteria. As I already told, countif meant for one criteria. Count ifs, you can see count ifs is meant for multiple criteria. So let me tell you one question here. We have to find out the count of UK and Q1. So count of UK for Q1. So this is actually the question. How you can find out? So let me try that. Equal to countifs, and over here you can see criteria range 1 comma criteria. So of course this is my first criteria range, and now comma, this is actually UK. You have to select. You can type UK. All right, comma, criteria range 2. See, it can accept any number of range if you have available. So now criteria range 2, of course this is my criteria range 2. And now what is the criteria? You can see in the square bracket criteria range 2 comma criteria 2. Now we have to pass on the criteria for quarter. So as we mentioned in our question, count of UK for quarter 1. So we have to type QTR 1 and then this. So over here, let me tell you some more tips. If we are using text, in general, text has to be enclosed in inverted commas that you can see. But if we have numbers, that number will not be there unless you have any operator. If you have operator along with number like greater than 10,000 and so on, there you have to enclose with operator and number in inverted commas. That I will cover in my next question. So now you see this is the result. So UK for Q1 is two times repeated. Now if you let me check that now. All right, so this is actually UK and Q1. You can see Q1. So two times UK has been repeated, and you can see Q3 just one. So if we type over there the Q3, the result will be 1. All right, and you can actually you can check accordingly to your requirement. Suppose we want total sale count which is greater than 10,000. So now total sale greater than 10,000. So we need to find out count of total sale greater than 10,000. So tell me, is this one criteria or two criteria? This is one criteria because count of total sale greater than 10,000. So here we have sale column only. When you deal with just one column, It is just one criteria. And now let me park this question on the top. It will be easy to see the table in one go. Now count if, count if, this is the range, all right, and comma. What is the criteria here? Greater than 10,000. So you cannot just write this criteria like that. Okay, if you see, you see that this will happen. You can see this, kind of notification, or kind of not trying to type a formula. So you actually have, you have to enclose this in inverted commas to have the result. So it is telling 9. So count of total sale which is greater than 10,000, the total people are 9. You can see here by applying filter, this is number filters, greater than, you apply this and you can just type 1,000, 10,000. How many people are there? You can see 9 people. You can see at the status bar 9, and you can see the result also 9. Control Shift L. Now we have the criteria again. Let's check another criteria. If we have to find out total sale, for UK, total sale for UK, let me check. Total sales for UK, which is greater than 10,000. So here you can write count of total sale. So now understand this question. Let me insert one column. What is this question actually? The question is count of total sales for UK. Count of total sales for UK which is greater than 10,000. So count of total sales for UK which is greater than. So maybe you can count of sales, or maybe you can say count of, count of people you can also write. All right, because this is the people. See, question you can change count of people for UK which is greater than 10,000. So how we can find out count of people for UK? So over here, one criteria is for sale and second criteria is for country. So two criteria we have to enter there. So let me try that. Equal to count ifs, guys. Okay, count ifs. First is UK. So select this entire range, comma, UK. All right, now creator range 2. What is my creator range 2? This is actually my second range 2. So here I have to tell you something. If you have passed one criteria where you are selecting a range which is C1 through C21, ensure that the range size should always be the same. Because if you select a B20, so this formula will give you the error. Suppose I want A, B, C. All right. See, error is coming. Or maybe you have to select the range properly. All right. And maybe you have to be very careful. Now you see that we are getting error. Or if you just put 1, it is getting 0. So try to understand this. All right, so this is actually the range. Here we have to find out b1. B1 is that, maybe if you type over there, greater than, equal to, maybe greater than 10,000. This is the sale. So you see count of people for UK which is greater than 10,000. All right, if you do that, 0, the result will come. The result is 0, guys. Understand that what we are doing. Actually, this is the sale. So by mistake, we were putting, the name over there. So this is actually the sale. And if you do B1 through B20, as I mentioned, the range size should always be the same in the formula. So you can see that we have the size over there up to 21st row, or here we have up to 20th, but it is getting value error. But if you increase the size, or if you have the exact size, it will give you a 3 count. So now check count of people for UK, count of people for UK which is greater than 10,000. So count of people for UK. So let me check now. Control Shift L. Control Shift L is the shortcut key to apply the filter or to remove the filter. For UK, first you apply the filter for UK. You can remove this filter. Now UK total sale greater than 10,000. So this is actually 1, 2, and this is 3. The result is 100% correct. So if you have large data, it is difficult for us to see every time. If you have the function applied in your worksheet, whatever data you have, if you have the dynamic range available with you, then you can of course get the result in no time without even applying filter. So you have to be very careful while you apply the formula, because the range should always be the correct to get the correct output. So count of people for UK, which is greater than 10,000. This is clear. Now, if I tell you I need some more criteria, like this is for UK and 10,000, maybe you can tell one particular person. So William, okay, and now we have not given any criteria for Q1. So maybe you can give another criteria, count of people for which you got 10,000 for Q1. So understand now, actually the count of people for UK. So of course this is country column. So this is one criteria, and sale and second criteria. Now they are telling for Q1. So Q1 means this is goes now third criteria. So how we can do that? Again equal to count ifs. What is criteria range one? So you have to select this entire range and you have to write UK, comma. What is criteria range 2? You can see this segment is highlighted, so it means it is ready for next criteria. And of course this is my second criteria. All right, so now you see that all text has to be enclosed, uh, with the inverted commas. And now we have to type qtr and space 1 for Q1. Actually we need, so two criterias are over. Now you see the time I put comma, the criteria range 3 is highlighted. You can see that criteria range 3 is highlighted. If I remove this, you can see the criteria 2 range is over. If I type comma, you see criteria range 3 is highlighted. Again, if I type comma, criteria range 3 is highlighted. You can see that. So what is my criteria range 3? Sales. If I select this sales, and over here I'm telling that it should be, so you cannot just write greater than 10,000. This will give the error, because now you have to tell this Excel, this is actually my operator. See, there are two things: either you can do this and ampersand this. So this is also the way you can actually do that, because this is the operator. Greater than ampersand, you can just concatenate, or if you don't want to do that, you can just do this way. And you can actually, if you see, again I'm telling you, if you have this value somewhere else, so like if this is a dynamic, then you can do that way, ampersand. Otherwise you can keep that value constant here. You can remove this value and select any range. Suppose I'm giving range over there. So now you see, if I type over there, it means greater than 10,000. So greater than 10,000 for UK, only one person is there. Control Shift L. So Q1, first you type Q1, and then UK greater than 10,000, only one. All right. If you do this, suppose 19,000. So the result will be, and it is UK, USA. Make it UK. So now you see there will be two, number of two. Yeah, this is the result. And again I'm telling you, if I make it 1,000, of course number will be 3. So you can see accordingly the result will change the time you have multiple criteria. And if you click again comma, you see criteria range 4 is coming. If you see that, as soon as you put comma comma multiple times, you see that these ranges are getting highlighted. You can see how many range we are getting. See that. So what does it happen? Let me try and show you how many conditions you can put. See, these are the conditions available in that. There is no limit, I think, but generally we don't put these conditions. So understand this, you can put a good number of conditions in that to have good output. So now This is also clear to you guys. Let me show you some other way with the date. Okay, so we have another data set here, and we have to find out, with the date, how much is the sale, total sale, or maybe total sale count, because we are using count function. After maybe 10th of August, total count I need. So how you can find out that criteria? So equal to count ifs, we have to use criteria range one. So you can select either from here or from there. That's not a problem because you are selecting a range. If you have a large data, so you can do that way. As I mentioned, you have to use this way. As you know, date is also a number. Okay, so you can use a date function here. What is year? I'm putting 2018. So let us start with after 1st of August, maybe after 13th of August. After 13th of August, we have to find out the total count. So month is 8, and we can say 13th, after 13th of August. After 13th of August, we have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is actually another way you can do that. Or maybe if you have 13th of August somewhere else written, all right. So you can do that way also, like rather than making the date, you can have your date this way. So you can see that now we have select R13. R13 is the date, and this is the one, like these are the people or sales count which is greater than 13th of August. But here you can make drop down also. Maybe over there you can have drop down. Let me remove this and show you how to make the drop down. Go to data and go to data validation. This is actually most common. We keep on using this in our all sessions. Now list, this is actually the list I am giving. Now you see, okay, let me highlight that to help you understand better. This is my drop down. If you select 3rd of August, after 3rd of August there are 17 sale count. And if you go down after 16th of August, we have 4 count. This is how you can actually change criteria and see the result. One, so after 19th of August we have only one. You can see after 19th of August we have only one. All right. So if you have to have one more criteria, let me tell you, like after 1st of August I want to find out all the sales which are greater than 10,000 or maybe 20,000. After 12th of August, let me put 12th of August here itself. All right, so here I'm using this criteria, which is greater than. So now you put another criteria here, which is of course sales criteria. So see, you can see the range selection from second row towards the 24th row. So I cannot select from here. The result will be wrong. So we have to select the same size of the range which we have selected earlier, comma. Again, we have to use operator. They are called logical operator, equal to, greater than, less than sign. And now we have to enclose this inverted commas and comma, ampersand, 10,000 or maybe 20,000 we can type over there. So you know that after 12th of August, this is only one which is greater than 20,000. So after 12th of August, we have only one, of course. So after 12th of August, yes, this is the only one after 12th of August. But in this criteria, if I give greater than equal to, okay, maybe I can write greater than or equal to in the date. It is giving now 2. What we are telling, greater than 12th of August or equal to, like maybe you can tell, what does it mean greater than 12th of August in the formula? It means greater than 11th of August. Greater than 11th of August, whichever is greater than 20,000, give me that count. So you can see we have only two things are there. If I type greater than 17,000, so how much count will come here? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 count will come. But if I make this 16,000, So it means 8 count will come, correct? Let's try that. What was that question? Count if we make it 17,000, correct? 8 count is coming. So this is how you can explore on count ifs. So we have covered almost everything in count if with date, with symbol. I think one more thing is there which I can cover. So one more thing is left, which is all about wildcard characters. Guys, understand wildcard characters also, can be used in our counter function. Let me tell you that I want to find out all the count whose name starts with whose name starts with B. So I want count. Okay. So count of people, count of people whose name starts with B. So this is actually the question. Very simple. Equal to count if, what is my range? Of course, this is my range, comma, I need to find out those people whose name starts with B. So what should I do here? So you have to give, B, and then you have to type asterisk. So what does it mean? This actually we have already covered. Anything starts with B followed by number of characters. So you see this result, 3 people are there whose name starts with B. This is the person, and you see this is the person, and there is one more person, beat. So this is the person. So you can see only 3 people are there whose name starts with B. So you can take this way such kind of criteria or partial text if you have to look for in a range in the counter function. It is very much useful, and you can explore more and keep on practicing. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye bye.